overthrew French rule in 1804, creating the first black-led republic and the first nation to abolish slavery. What's less told are the grassroots networks of communication and resistance that kept the revolution alive, despite internal betrayals and external pressures. In the Americas, decolonization was not always political independence but cultural reclamation. The Harlem Renaissance of the 1920s and 30s, often seen as a cultural movement, was a form of intellectual decolonization. Writers like Langston Hughes and Zora Neale Hurston challenged the colonial mindset by celebrating African heritage, spirituality, and identity. These stories are a testament to the power of collective action, the unyielding spirit of justice, and the courage of everyday people. Black decolonization was not just about political sovereignty, but the restoration of dignity, culture, and identity. By telling these stories, we honor the past and inspire. The Dogon people of Mali hold a fascinating connection to the stars and astrology. Their knowledge of the cosmos is astonishing, particularly their understanding of the Sirius star system. Long before modern astronomy confirmed it, the Dogon knew that Sirius had a companion star, Sirius B, which is invisible to the naked eye. This revelation raises questions about how they acquired such precise astronomical knowledge. The Dogon believed that the stars are not just celestial bodies, but also hold spiritual significance. They view the universe as a living entity, with each star representing different aspects of life and spirituality. Their intricate rituals and ceremonies often revolve around the stars, emphasizing their importance in guiding their lives. Astrology plays a vital role in Dogon culture, as they use it to predict agricultural cycles and understand human behavior. The Dogon calendar is intricately tied to the positions of the stars, demonstrating their deep connection to the cosmos. This ancient wisdom has intrigued researchers and scholars for decades, leading to various theories about the origins of their astronomical knowledge. Some suggest contact with advanced civilizations, while others believe it stems from deep observation and cultural practices. Regardless of its origins, the Dogon's understanding of the stars continues to captivate those interested in the mysteries of the universe. Their legacy serves as a reminder of the profound relationship between humanity and the cosmos, inviting us to explore the stars and seek knowledge beyond our earthly existence. The Pittsburgh Crawfords were one of the most successful teams in the history of the Negro League. Founded in the 1930s, this team showcased incredible talent and played a significant role in the development of baseball during a time of segregation. Among its most notable players was the legendary Satchel Paige, known for his remarkable pitching skills and charismatic personality. Another standout was Josh Gibson, often referred to as one of the greatest catchers of all time, whose powerful hitting made him a formidable opponent. The Crawfords were not just a team, they were a symbol of excellence and resilience in the face of adversity. Their legacy continues to inspire future generations of baseball players and fans alike, reminding us of the rich history of the sport and the extraordinary athletes who shaped it. The team's success on the field and its impact off the field highlight the importance of diversity and inclusion in sports. The Pittsburgh Crawfords will forever be remembered for their contributions to baseball and the fight for equality. In the early 20th century, the Black Hospital movement emerged as a powerful response to the systemic racism that denied African Americans access to quality health care. With segregation rampant, many black individuals faced discrimination in hospitals and were often turned away from facilities that refused to treat them. This led to a pressing need for hospitals that would cater specifically to the black community. Pioneers in the movement recognized that health care was a fundamental right, and they worked tirelessly to establish black-owned and operated hospitals. These institutions became vital lifelines, providing essential medical services to those who had been marginalized and neglected by the mainstream healthcare system. One notable example is the founding of the Provident Hospital in Chicago in 1891, which was the first black-owned hospital in the United States. Founded by Dr. Daniel Hale Williams, it not only served patients but also trained black nurses and doctors, breaking down barriers in medical education. The movement gained momentum during the early 20th century, with various cities establishing their own black hospitals. These facilities not only treated patients, but also fostered a sense of community and empowerment. They became centers for advocacy, pushing for better healthcare policies and greater equity in medical treatment. Despite facing numerous challenges, including funding shortages and opposition, the Black Hospital movement laid the groundwork for future advancements in healthcare access for African Americans. It highlighted the importance of self-determination and resilience in the face of adversity, ensuring that the health needs of black communities were addressed with dignity and respect. The Free African Society, founded in 1787 in Philadelphia, holds a significant place in American history. It was one of the first black mutual aid societies established to support the African American community during a time of immense struggle and discrimination. The society aimed to provide assistance to its members, offering resources such as healthcare, education, and financial support. It played a crucial role in fostering a sense of community and empowerment among black individuals. Through collective efforts, members could address various challenges they faced in society. The Free African Society also laid the groundwork for future organizations dedicated to uplifting African Americans. Its legacy continues to inspire mutual aid efforts today, highlighting the importance of solidarity and support within marginalized communities. This pioneering society not only addressed immediate needs but also promoted social justice and equality, making it a vital chapter in the history of African American resilience and activism. Colonization sought to erase black and indigenous identities. European colonizers used violence, displacement, and forced assimilation to strip Aboriginal Australians and black Americans of their cultures. In Australia, the Stolen Generations saw Aboriginal children taken from their families to be assimilated into European society. In America, black families were torn apart during slavery, with cultural ties deliberately severed. These oppression, both Aboriginal Australians' heritage, reclaiming their histories and identity. Their resilience continues to inspire movements for justice and equality across the globe. The fight against colonial legacies remains critical in today's push for true freedom. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Bass Reeves was a remarkable figure in American history, known as the first black deputy U.S. Marshal west of the Mississippi River. Born into slavery in 1838, he escaped and became a legendary lawman. Reeves arrested over 3,000 criminals during his career, showcasing his bravery and commitment to justice. His ability to navigate the complexities of the law in a unique and respected figure. Many believe that his life inspired the creation of the Lone Ranger, a character that embodies justice and heroism. Reeves was known for his exceptional tracking skills and his ability to capture outlaws without firing a shot. He often worked alone, relying on his keen instincts and deep understanding of human nature. His legacy continues to influence modern depictions of law enforcement in popular culture. Bass Reeves stands as a testament to the contributions of black Americans in shaping the West and fighting for justice during a tumultuous time in history. His story reminds us of the importance of courage and perseverance against all odds, and his impact is still felt today. The African American Sisters of the Holy Family, founded in 1842, have been at the forefront of addressing racism within the Catholic Church. Their mission emphasizes social justice, equality, and the dignity of every individual. Throughout history, they have advocated for the rights of marginalized communities, particularly in the African American population. In the face of systemic racism, the sisters have hosted workshops and community awareness. Education is a powerful tool in combating prejudice and discrimination. Through their outreach, they strive to create inclusive environments where everyone feels welcome. Their fight against racism is not just limited to words. They actively participate in community service projects that uplift those affected by social injustices. By partnering with local organizations, they provide resources and support to empower individuals and families. The sisters also engage with church leadership, advocating for policies that promote racial equality and justice within the church. They remind us that the fight against racism is a continuous journey, requiring commitment and action from all members of the faith community. Through their dedication and resilience, the Sisters of the Holy Family inspire others to join the movement for equality, reminding us that faith and justice go hand in hand. Together, they envision a church that truly reflects the diversity and love of God. Man who famously sued for his freedom in the case of Dred Scott v. Sanford in 1857. Born in Virginia around 1799, Scott was taken to the Free State of Illinois and later to the Wisconsin Territory, where slavery was prohibited. Scott argued that his residence in free territories made him a free man. However, the Supreme Court ruled against him, stating that African Americans could not be considered citizens and therefore had no right to sue in federal court. The court's decision intensified national tensions over slavery and contributed to the outbreak of the Civil War. The ruling was eventually overturned by the 13th and 14th Amendment, which abolished slavery and granted citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States. Dred Scott's case remains a significant moment in American history, highlighting the struggles for freedom and equality. Discovering the life of Black Caesar, the African pirate who outsmarted the world. In the age of towering sails and treacherous seas, one man's name echoed fear and respect. Black Caesar, the African pirate who outsmarted some of history's most cunning adversaries. Born in West Africa, Black Caesar was a towering figure, both in stature and intellect. He began his life as a tribal chieftain, renowned for his wisdom and charisma. However, his life took a tragic turn when he was lured aboard a slaver's ship under the guise of trade, only to be shackled and bound for a life of bondage. But Black Caesar was no ordinary captive. On the voyage to the Americas in the late 17th century, he used his wit to gain the trust of a sailor who smuggled him food and water. When the ship faced a devastating storm, Black Caesar seized his moment. Alongside his newfound ally, he orchestrated a mutiny, taking control of the ship and escaping to the Florida Keys. There, in the early 1700s, he carved out a new life as a pirate, preying on merchant vessels and amassing a fortune. His knowledge of the sea and his ability to outmaneuver more powerful foes earned him a fearsome reputation. Black Caesar's partnership with infamous pirate Blackbeard elevated his legend even further, though he remained an enigma, preferring to let his cunning and ruthlessness speak for him. In a world dominated by empires and oppression, Black Caesar defied the odds, becoming a symbol of resistance and freedom during the golden age of piracy. His story, spanning the late 1600s to early 1700s, remains a testament to resilience, intellect, and the unyielding human spirit. The story of African-American granny midwives, guardians of life and tradition. In the rural South during the 19th and early 20th centuries, a special group of women, known as granny midwives, became pillars of their communities. These African-American women, often elderly, were not only midwives, but also healers, counselors, and custodians of cultural wisdom. They emerged in a time when access to medical care was limited or outright denied to Black communities due to systemic racism and economic disparity. Granny midwives were often the only source of maternal care for Black women, especially on isolated rural areas. These women inherited knowledge passed down through generations, often rooted in African healing traditions, combined with the practical knowledge gained from experience. Their tools were simple but effective: boiled water, clean cloths, herbal remedies, and an unshakable presence of mind. The role of the granny midwife went beyond delivering babies. They educated mothers about childbirth and infant care, advocated for hygiene to prevent infections, and provided emotional support to families. Their work was deeply spiritual. Many granny midwives infused their practice with prayers, songs, and blessings, believing that their work was divinely guided. However, the rise of formalized medical institutions in the mid-20th century marginalized these women. Hospitals and professional obstetricians replaced midwives as childbirth shifted from homes to medical facilities. Systemic racism further ensured that Black midwives were excluded from certification programs, effectively erasing their role. Despite this, their legacy endures. Granny midwives symbolize resilience, community care, and the preservation of cultural knowledge. They remind us of a time when care was deeply personal, grounded in trust, and guided by a shared sense of humanity. Their stories are a testament to the power of women to uphold and sustain life, even in the face of adversity. The 1811 German Coast Uprising was a significant revolt that occurred in the United States, specifically in Louisiana. This uprising was primarily led by enslaved people seeking freedom from their oppressors. It began on January 8, 1811, and is considered one of the largest slave revolts in American history. The rebellion was fueled by the desire for liberation and the harsh conditions faced by enslaved individuals on plantations. The leaders, including Charles Deslan, aimed to march towards New Orleans, gathering more supporters along the way. The uprising quickly escalated, with participants engaging in armed conflict against plantation owners and local militias. Despite initial successes, the rebellion was met with fierce resistance. By January 10th, the revolt was suppressed and many rebels were captured. In the aftermath, the authorities executed several participants, sending a clear message against such uprising. The German Coast Uprising highlighted the tensions of the time regarding slavery and the fight for freedom. It also served as a catalyst for future conversations about the rights of enslaved people and the moral implications of slavery in America. Today, the legacy of the uprising is remembered as a crucial part of the struggle for justice and equality. The Stono Rebellion, which took place in 1739 in South Carolina, was one of the largest slave uprisings in the British colonies. It began on September 9th when a group of enslaved Africans, led by a man named Jemmy, gathered near the Stono River. They marched towards Florida, seeking freedom and hoping to escape the oppressive conditions of slavery. The rebels carried weapons, including guns and axes, and shouted slogans as they went, aiming to recruit others to their cause. As they marched, they attacked several plantations, killing white colonists and freeing enslaved individuals. The rebellion quickly escalated, with around 100 enslaved people joining the revolt. However, the local militia soon mobilized to confront the rebels. A fierce battle ensued, leading to the deaths of many participants on both sides. Ultimately, the Stono Rebellion was suppressed, and the survivors faced severe consequences. In the aftermath, colonial authorities enacted stricter slave codes to prevent future uprisings. This event highlighted the tensions between enslaved people and their oppressors, as well as the desperate desire for freedom that fueled resistance. The Stono Rebellion remains a significant moment in American history, symbolizing the struggles against slavery and the fight for liberty. The 688 was an extraordinary unit in World War II, known as the only all-black female battalion to serve overseas. Formed in 1945, they were officially known as the 6688 Central Postal Directory Battalion. Their mission was critical: to sort and deliver mail to soldiers in the European theater. With over 18 million pieces of mail to sort, they faced significant challenges, including long hours and harsh conditions. Despite this, their determination and resilience shone through. The women of the 6888 worked tirelessly, often under the threat of enemy fire, ensuring that troops received their letters from home. They broke barriers and paved the way for future generations of women in the military. Their legacy is one of courage, dedication, and the power of community. In recent years, their contributions have gained recognition, leading to calls for a Congressional Gold Medal to honor their service. The story of the 6888 is a testament to the strength and impact of these remarkable women, reminding us of the vital role they played in history. Their achievements inspire us to continue fighting for equality and recognition in all fields. Let us remember and celebrate their bravery and commitment to service. The 6888 not only delivered mail, but also delivered hope to countless soldiers during a challenging time in history. Maasai warriors are revered as the Zodiac's protectors of East Africa. This semi-nomadic tribe inhabits Kenya and northern Tanzania, known for their unique culture and fierce warrior traditions. Historically, the Maasai were known for their prowess in battle and cattle raiding, a practice that symbolized wealth and bravery. Cattle are central to Maasai life, providing food, materials for clothing, and serving as a form of currency. Despite pressures to modernize, many Maasai communities continue to uphold their ancestral way of life, balancing traditional practices with contemporary challenges. Maasai society is patriarchal, with elders holding significant authority. The warriors, or Morans, undergo rigorous rites of passage, including circumcision and periods of living in seclusion to prove their bravery and endurance. These practices are crucial in maintaining the cultural fabric and social structure of the Maasai. A fascinating aspect of Maasai culture is their traditional diet, which primarily consists of meat, milk, and blood from cattle. This diet has sustained them for centuries, even in harsh climates. Additionally, Maasai attire, characterized by bright red shukas and intricate beadwork, is both a cultural identifier and a symbol of their rich heritage. Astrologically, the Maasai believe in the influence of the stars and the moon on their daily lives. They use celestial events to guide agricultural practices and predict weather patterns. The Maasai calendar is lunar-based, with significant ceremonies and rituals aligned with moon phases and constellations, reflecting their deep connection to the cosmos. Despite facing modern-day challenges such as land rights issues and climate change, the Maasai remain resilient, preserving their unique identity and customs. Their story is a testament to the enduring strength and adaptability of indigenous cultures in the face of globalization. Thank you for watching. Follow for more. Bessie Coleman embraced her African American and Native American heritage in aviation. She was the first African American woman and the first Native American to earn a pilot license. Bessie Coleman, born in 1892 in Texas, faced numerous obstacles due to her race and gender. Determined to fly, she saved money and learned French to attend flight school in France, as American schools denied her entry. In 1921, she earned her pilot's license from the Fédération Aéronautique Internationale, making history. Coleman became famous for her breathtaking aerial stunts, performing at air shows across the United States. She was known as Queen Bess and used her platform to promote aviation and inspire African Americans and Native Americans to pursue their dreams. Coleman's legacy extends beyond her flying skills. She paved the way for future generations of aviators and advocated for racial equality in the aviation industry. Her determination and achievements remain a powerful symbol of overcoming adversity and breaking barriers. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. The Mascogos are descendants of escaped African slaves. They found freedom by allying with the Seminole Indians and fleeing to Mexico. The Mascogos are a unique cultural group with roots tracing back to the 19th century. In the 1850s, a group of black Seminoles who had escaped slavery in the United States sought refuge in Mexico. They settled in the town of Nacimiento de los Negros, Coahuila, where they maintained their distinct cultural heritage. The Mascogos preserved their Seminole and African traditions, creating a rich tapestry of customs, music, and language. language. Their history is a testament to resilience and adaptability as they navigated life in a foreign land while holding on to their identity. The Mexican government granted them land and protection, recognizing their role in defending the northern borders against incursions. Today, the Muskogos continue to celebrate their heritage with annual events that highlight their unique history and culture. Their community is a vibrant example of the fusion of African, Native American, and Mexican influences. Despite the challenges of preserving their identity over generations, the Muskogos remain a proud and distinct group contributing to the diverse cultural mosaic of Mexico. Their story is a powerful reminder of the enduring human spirit and the quest for freedom and self-determination. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Ida B. Wells fought tirelessly against lynching. She was a pioneering journalist and activist who exposed the brutal realities of racial violence in America. Born into slavery in 1862, Wells grew up during Reconstruction and became a teacher and journalist. Her career took a pivotal turn in 1892 when she began documenting lynchings, revealing that these acts were not about punishing crime, but were tools of racial control and terror. She published her findings in pamphlets like Southern Horrors and The Red Record, using meticulous research and first-hand account. Despite facing constant threats and the destruction of her press, Wells continued her advocacy, co-founding the NAACP and campaigning for federal anti-lynching laws. Her work laid the groundwork for future civil rights movements and highlighted the importance of using journalism for social justice. Wells' legacy endures as a testament to her courage and unwavering commitment to equality. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Media emasculates black men, desensitizes black women. Scientific evidence. Studies show consistent stereotypes in media portrayals since the 19th century. Black men are often depicted as aggressive or hypersexual, reinforcing harmful stereotypes that strip them of their humanity and complexity. This media portrayal not only perpetuates fear, but also diminishes the societal perception of black men as leaders or intellectuals. On the other hand, black women face desensitization through stereotypes of being overly strong or angry, which invalidates their emotional experiences and reduces empathy towards their struggles. These portrayals have deep-rooted effects, influencing public opinion and policy, ultimately impacting the social and economic opportunities available to black individuals. Such media narratives reinforce systemic racism and contribute to the ongoing cycle of discrimination. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Alexander Pushkin's African heritage, a hidden legacy. Pushkin, often celebrated as the father of Russian literature, had African roots through his great-grandfather, Abram Ganabal. Ganabal was an African prince brought to Russia, who rose to prominence and became a general in the Russian army. Pushkin's heritage profoundly influenced his identity and work. His great-grandfather's remarkable story of being captured, educated, and eventually earning favor in Peter the Great's court provided a unique backdrop to Pushkin's own life. This connection to African nobility and the extraordinary life of Ganabal inspired Pushkin to explore themes of heritage, identity, and resilience in his work. In his unfinished novel, The Moor of Peter the Great, Pushkin delves into his great-grandfather's life, showcasing his keen interest in his African ancestry. Pushkin's African heritage was not merely a biographical footnote, but a significant element that shaped his worldview and literary voice. His awareness of his mixed heritage enabled him to bridge diverse cultural perspectives, enriching his contributions to Russian literature. This blend of African and Russian elements in his background gave Pushkin a unique lens through which